Welcome to Living Life on the Max with Keisha B. Spivey, a weekly podcast that will challenge you and encourage you to live your best life yet. Hello there and welcome to Living Life on the Max. I'm Keisha Spivey and I'm so excited to pick up on our conversations where we left off on last week. As you know, we're on week 5 and we're talking about navigating problems. Not just getting around them, but to fearlessly navigate problems. And it's that thing that we don't want to talk about. It's that thing that we want to act like if we ignore, it's going to go away, but it's actually a part of life. And every time I say that and I think about navigating problems, I think about the song that says, how many of us have them? We all have them. We're all dealing with them, and we're all in the process of overcoming. You know, I opened up this series with a quote from Albert Einstein, and I keep reiterating this with every lesson that we have because we need to get this. It says, we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. It would be absolutely insane to think that you can use the same mindset to get out of a problem that you used to create the problem in the first place. So in order for us to learn lessons through the problems, in order for us to move forward and not get caught up and get stuck in the process, we have to change how we think. So for these last few weeks, I've talked to you about seizing them and facing it and fixing it and evaluating it because there is purpose to it. We don't want to talk about that. We just want to get past the pain. But the reality is it has purpose. And I shared a quote with you last time by Mike Levin, and it says, there is a time in the life of every problem when it is big enough to see, yet small enough to solve. The challenge is we wait for that season and that moment to pass, and this thing grows and gets bigger and bigger, and it seems to grow hair and get an attitude. Then all of a sudden you want to start picking at it. But what if you would have dealt with it when that thing was bite-sized? Kind of like a snowball. What if you would have dealt with it when you first got a hold of that thing or that thing got a hold of you before it started growing and morphing into something that can be more painful, that'll cost you more money, cost you more time, and cost you more effort. So this week, what I want to say to you as it relates to navigating problems fearlessly is I want to challenge you to wake up, sound the alarm, and wake up. Why? Because problems are wake-up calls for creativity. Problems are wake-up call for possibilities, and problems are wake-up calls to what's waiting on the other side of this thing for you. It can either wake you up and help you recognize that there's value and that there's something that's worth the fight, or you can keep on hitting the snooze button. And here's the challenge. With problems, they don't go away. You know, they might get quiet for a little bit, but I promise you when you least expect it, those things are going to start screaming at you at the worst time, in the worst way, when you could have allowed it to wake you up initially and you did something powerful. So what I want to talk to you briefly about today is us opening up our minds and realizing it's so much more to problem solving than just seeing the problem. So often we look at the tree and we want to deal with the fruit, but the reality is the fruit is only as good as the root. You know, we want to start whacking at leaves, but we don't want to dig around the ground to see what's going on underneath the surface. And so what I want to challenge you with today is when you have a problem, I want you to see past the problem and look for the opportunity. There is an opportunity in every problem. There's a doorway in every problem. However, you won't see it if you don't take the time to look at it. When I read this, I thought it was worth sharing. It says, when President Kennedy was asked how he became a war hero, it is said that he smiled and simply said, it was easy. Somebody sunk my boat. It was either die or win. His perspective was so eye-opening to me. And you know, it's so easy to say that people have vision and they have purpose and they know what they're called to do, and they just go for it and they just seem to be soaring and thriving in every area of their life. But I just happen to believe with the research that I've been doing and the things that I've been reading that it really is adversity and problems that literally pave the way to success. You know, everybody wants to take an elevator. but we got to take the stairs. And I believe problems are an opportunity for us to fall forward. It's an opportunity for us to climb up. It's an opportunity for us to become the men and women that we were ordained to be before we even showed up on planet Earth. But you have to navigate the problems to get to that place. Thomas Edison, this was something else I thought was amazing. Thomas Edison, the founder of General Electric, he did it as a result of his gas being cut off. His lights got cut off, and he was in the middle of doing all these experiments, and so he shifted gears to figure out how to fix his light problem. So he was in the middle of a problem when he figured out how to solve a problem. So as I said earlier, problems are wake-up calls for creativity. Thomas Edison, he shows us, wait a minute, I got to deal with this thing. I got to get creative. I got to think outside of the box. I could sit back here and look at this problem all day long and nothing changes. Or I can take my mind out of what I'm dealing with, out of my circumstances, out of what I'm facing, and see what could be created, what could be done. If we choose to wake up and get up, problems will challenge us. They'll challenge us to use our God-given abilities. It'll challenge us to pull out our resources. It'll challenge us to take what we have and move forward if we wake up. If we listen to what the pain is really saying to us, if we're listening to what created the situation in the first place, if we're evaluating the situation for what it is with the eye to see the opportunity. Truth is, without certain problems, if you're honest, maybe let me back up a minute. Maybe not you, but me. If I'm honest, if it was not for certain problems, I would end up in the wrong place. I would end up with the wrong people. I would end up doing the wrong things with the wrong mindset. Sometimes problems will make you evaluate where you are in this game called life, and you might have to make another move. You might have to adjust. You might have to slow down and speed up. You might have to rethink what you're doing. You might have to rethink your motives. You might need to think through your intentions. You might need to ask yourself, am I really willing to pay this price? Do I really want this thing? Will this matter a week from now, a year from now? If you take the time to literally get your head out of the box and your head out of the sand and see what could be. I know for me, I had a tough day on yesterday. On every side, problems were popping up like popcorn. And I had a moment where I wanted to just scream and say enough already. But in the process, I realized, okay, either I can sit here and have a pity party of one, or I can start to pull back the layers of these problems like an onion and get to the core. And after a few hours of dealing with some things, I was able to see opportunities that were waiting. Even some of the things that were discouraging at 10 o'clock in the morning, by 6 o'clock in the evening, I was encouraged by it because I dodged a bullet. I didn't even realize it. If things would have happened like I wanted it to happen, then I would have ended up in a place I probably shouldn't have been. But the problem made me think it through. It made me think it through. Out of pain comes purpose, and out of devastation can come direction. I'm going to say that again. Out of pain comes purpose, and out of devastation comes direction. What you need to understand is that your problem houses potential. That right there is good stuff. Your problem houses potential. Beyond the pain, beyond the discomfort, it houses potential. So the question becomes, are you willing to do what's required to birth the potential and to take it from that place? When I read this quote, I thought it was amazing. It says, problems are only opportunities in work clothes. Hello. Problems are opportunities in work clothes. So what I had to learn on yesterday and what I'm learning today and what I'm going to continue to learn is that problems mean changing your clothes. Problems mean I need to take off some cuteness. I need to take off comfort. I need to take off convenience. And I need to roll up my sleeves and get to work. I have to do what's required to birth the potential. I have to do what's required to navigate through this thing, to get to the thing that's waiting for me on the other side. And for some strange reason, we have been sold the lie that work is a curse word, that work is an ugly word. And it's not. It is not. It is what's required to move and to walk into success. discipline and hard work. It's part of the equation. And you have to be willing to do what's required. And I opened up talking about Thomas Edison, and I want to close out talking about Thomas Edison. He also said this. He says, opportunity is missed by most because it is dressed in overalls and it looks like work. I'm going to say that again. Opportunity is missed by most people because it's dressed in overalls and it looks like work. And that's what I want to challenge you right now. What in your life looks like a problem, but really it's an opportunity with some overalls on? What is? It's an opportunity that you need to roll up your sleeves. You might need to get your hands a little bit dirty. You might even have to cry a little bit. You might have to sacrifice. You might have to adjust. You might have to do things a little bit differently. You might have to get out of your comfort zone. But are you willing to do the work? Are you willing to wake up and work? Is the thing that you want, is the thing that you desire, is the thing that you want to accomplish, is the person you want to become worth the work to you? If he is or if she is, do what you got to do and wake up. Allow the problems and the inconveniences and all the things that you're facing, allow it to be a wake-up call for you to get creative and to go to work. If right now you're not navigating through something, if you're not working on something, if you don't have your hands to the plow on something, then I got to ask, where are you going? What are you aiming to accomplish? Because see, here's what I know about life. Every time I try to move uphill, I got to sweat a little bit. I have to grit my teeth a little bit. I got to grab a hold of some things and push my way up or pull my way through because it's going to cost me something. And your victory, your success, the thing that you are desiring, the thing that's on the other side of this obstacle, the thing that's on the other side of this problem, I believe it is worth you doing the work. I believe that you will be grateful on the other side, that you didn't sit back and sulk, but you pushed forward and you overcame. You overcame. That's what waking up and working the process and navigating the problem is what it looks like when you do it fearlessly. And you can say, wait a minute, Keisha, I'm afraid. Then you know what? Just do it afraid. Make the decision, keep moving, wake up and work, and watch the outcome blow your mind. So thank you for tuning in. I look forward to hanging out with you again on next week. And until we connect, do you to the max. God bless.